City Clerk, will you take the roll call, please?
Councilman Bell,
Present.
Councilman Price,
Present.
Councilman Giltner,
Present.
Councilman Phillips,
Present.
Councilman Twitchell,
Here.
Councilwoman Portis,
Here.
Councilman Gott,
Here.
Councilman Sutter.
There being a quorum, I'll call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Councilman Bell. Steve. Steve.
Take your hat off. What? Can you take your hat off, please? No. Are we violating one of your rights that you won't take off? Are we violating one of your civil rights for you not to take off your hat to support our country and the veterans who fought for your rights and our rights? Can we stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance? If not, would you please leave the room? And you can come back in. Very disrespectful to the people of this country who died for our rights. Very disrespectful.
It's just for his Facebook. Hello, everyone on Facebook. You got a POS right there taking the video.
Very un-American.
Go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Including Steve Henry. All right, council, you see the agenda before us. Is there any modifications before we proceed? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and go with the council of the whole, city update. City
Good evening, council. So starting with the streets, from 914 South Carolina, that ditch. On March 25th, we started digging, laying and forming drop boxes. And after that, we're laying gravel, tamped down. We had the project fully completed on March 31st. So the next ditch we're gonna be working on is 15th in South Carolina. We have everything that we need for it. We're at the shop. We're hoping that towards the end of this week we can start working on it. We're supposed to get some rain. We're hoping that it goes around us. So 903 to 917 Georgia. That's gonna be the next set of sidewalks we'll be working on. So far, everything's been going to plan. Tomorrow we will start ripping it out, and then we're hoping to have it formed and ready to go by Wednesday.
Just because I'm slow on the uptake, can you tell me the address again that you're going to start?
For the sidewalks?
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off at 903 Georgia, and we're gonna go to 917 Georgia.
Okay.
So cold mixing, towards the end of last week and a little bit this morning, we were filling in potholes along South 23rd and 24th Streets. And then again today around South Carolina, North Carolina, 24th and 25th, filling in potholes and smoothing out the road. So I do have an update on the Pike County sidewalk that they're putting in over on Georgia Street on the west side of town. They've hired Can Construction, and they've been working, I think they started last week, over in front of the Trinity Lutheran Church. They're currently laying a storm drain. Then they're going to be going through putting the sidewalk. Again, it's going to be going from Joe's Jug to Mary's Drive, and then Mary's Drive to the school. But the contractors have 30 days to get the job completed, so we're looking at early May for the project to be fully done. And I also have an update for the riverfront repaving project that we are going through Mid Rivers for. So they've already milled and they've already prepped the riverfront. They did that a couple of weeks ago. They said that we are their top priority. So their goal in the next week is to be down at the riverfront, and getting some work done down there, and repaving. They said that they give us a 2 to 3 day heads up, that way we can let the public know when they will be working. No one can access that portion of the riverfront, so we'll have to block it off. Moving on to parks, cemetery mowing. Fabrizio and his crew were out last week mowing both cemeteries. They had both cemeteries looking pretty good. And then our Parks and Grounds Department, they've been focusing on mowing all of our parks and city properties over here at City Hall. Cleaning up trash, making sure bathrooms are staying clean. So our grounds department also purchased a stump grinder. I know here in the next couple of days, we'll be over at the library, clearing out stumps. We also had over at Memorial Gardens, we had a couple down trees that we were taking care of last week. They've all been hauled off. One thing that our Parks and Grounds department is kind of the need for is like a side-by-side or a mule, to kind of help really carry things around, as far as like fertilizer sprays or hauling trash out of parks. We did previously, we sold a mower to the wastewater facility for $10,000, and we are hoping to use that $10,000 to purchase like a little mule or something that will really help the guys out.
Where would that money come from?
We sold a mower previously to the wastewater facility, so we're gonna use that $10,000 to get a little side by side or mule.
John Deere gators are also really good.
Our gator-
I say that because
Yeah.
I would stick more with it.
So a few grants I've been working on. There's a community foundation grant. Applied for 16 trash cans down at the riverfront. They're the cement ones, as well as a pickleball net and post. That's an all-in system. I was thinking maybe Veterans Park, we can have it, but we can really have one either, honestly, pickleball court. And then also, I plan on getting with county about an earmark request. State, I know last year they submitted one, they had on their Louisiana getting a water tower on the west side of town. I tried reaching out to the county, haven't really heard anything if they're gonna reapply this year or not. But I know the deadline's coming up here pretty soon, so no matter what, I'll be trying to get in a request for.
Governor made it pretty clear he's not doing it.
Really? Okay. I just knew last year we tried and thought might as well give it a shot this year. So that's all that I have for an update. I do have a letter from the Rotary Club. It also comes with a quote from Elon. That reads, this is in regards to 6 park benches in Henderson Park at Riverview that are in horrible condition. Wood is uncomfortable, the frames are not straight and leaning backwards. Upon our request to remove them, and we thank you for that. Rotary Club were a grant and were able to purchase 4 benches. We're asking the city to buy the other 2 at $650 each. We will bear the cost of labor materials and install them onto a concrete base. Spring is here and hopefully the benches will be ready for visitors and residents to enjoy the beauty of the scenery overlooking the river. Please advise so we can proceed with this project as soon as possible. Thank you in advance. And like I said, there's also a quote showing the 2 benches that the city would purchase. Like they did already purchase 4.
Well, they got a grant for them, why can't you get the grant for 2?
For 2?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
They got a grant for 4 of them, right? Find out where they got the grant, see if we can get the grant for 2.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that.
I could reach out to them and see. Yeah.
But I looked it up, similar, you can go to Lowe's, they're like 200 to 300.
Yeah. I could reach
It
out.
might be a good idea to find out where they got their grant, see if we can't do the same thing.
I would say that if they maxed out the grant for our area, is it required that we get the exact same kind of benches that they have? Because Uline is not known for being particularly competitive on price.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I don't think it's absolutely necessary, we have to get the same, but I think their goal is just to have benches that all look similar together, so.
Are the 4 benches that they got installed where we can go look at them?
What was that, sorry?
Not yet.
They're not.
No, they're not installed yet. So, you know, at Henderson Park, they have kind of taken, you know, a keen interest in revitalizing Henderson Park with the concrete picnic chess table and then the overlook and the balcony and so forth. And they achieved the grant. They wanted all 6 benches, but they could only get funding for the 4. So I know it's their wish to get similar benches, but you know, it's one of those things, we can look at the grant funding and see if we can acquire that, but they're wanting to install all of them. They're gonna make a work project out of it, and install all of them at the same time.
But the reason why, I mean, I have ordered stuff from Uline in the past, and they're the only ones that put together, and I've also checked their prices on other things. Usually are more expensive. Just a real quick look right here on Amazon. If we have weatherproof PVC, so it's not gonna have to worry about, you know, wood deteriorating, holds up to 500 pounds, looks like the same kind of base that you can use concrete anchors into a concrete base. And the price on that is $389. So for $1,350, we could end up getting 4 benches and add to the 4 they've got, so they'll have 2 different styles, but there'll be 4 of each, so they can work together that way.
It might be, is that free shipping with Amazon?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because this over here.
$747.
And I mean, that's just, you know,
the other thing.
2 minutes worth of looking.
Yeah, the other thing too, you gotta consider is these prices may not be accurate, they're imported from China. You're looking at
They disagree.
35% more, just because of the tariffs. So it might behoove us to, even if we could go to Home Depot or Lowe's or something, see what they have available. You don't have to pay, you send a city truck down there to pick them up. You don't have to pay the shipping, you don't have to pay any of that stuff.
Right. I'm not saying I'm against benches
No,
at all. I think that would be really good.
I'm gonna say that these look like.
I am a little concerned about the price.
Just
check the grants first.
So that's one thing I would suggest, just let's make sure we're comparing apples to apples
right.
and so forth. The budget amount, even at the 1350, is well within our procurement process, so. Just make sure we're comparing apples to apples.
Just be smart about it.
So where are we at with, 9th and Allen Street?
Back now, so, we're basically done, for council members who don't know, we tore down a house over on, 9th and Allen, been through the, dangerous building committee, nothing, was done with it. And the house is falling apart, so our street department guys, we went and knocked it down and, we got pretty much cleaned up, there's really not much work left to do. I'd say we're just making sure it's leveled and filling any ruts that we might have left in and just kind of making sure it's all smooth. And we're gonna go through, we're gonna lay some grass seed and some straw and that's just kind of where we're at right now with it, so. Almost done.
And what's the plan for April 19th, this Saturday?
So April 19th. So we're doing kicking off the Lincoln Park project. We're getting the community together. We're gonna be cleaning up each trash. We're We're gonna have a big dumpster down at Lincoln Park and. We'll be ever cleaning up the park. We are looking for volunteers. I know, should be a fun time. I think it's gonna start at 10, so. Yeah, it's gonna kick off the whole Lincoln Park project, so.
So the Louisiana Concerned Citizens and Belong Church and other volunteers are willing to come up there, and we're looking to have a skid steer up there just so people can throw trash into the skid steer and so it can go into the dumpster for heavy items. There's beds, there's furniture, there's a lot of various trash items down there, trying to get it cleaned up and so forth.
What date and time again?
The 19th, this Saturday,
10 o'clock.
it's starting at 10 o'clock. So, anyway, and probably, we're gonna try and fill the dumpster. We got broadened out in the neighborhood and with permission of the homeowners, we'll broaden out, and we'll make sure the dumpster is full. Enterprise update.
All right, so I'll start with the water treatment plant. So Meco Engineering, Mayor and I, we spoke with them last week. We had a conference call, a Teams meeting with them. And they received some of the estimates back from the engineers for the work that we wanted to get done on the basement. And they're skyrocketing. I think we initially thought about $70,000 to paint all of the piping, say blast it and paint it. And they're getting them in at like 240,000. So we told them to go ahead and put everything together with what we initially talked about, price wise with engineers, and get bids on it, and then we'll kind of evaluate it and go from there.
With that, we asked them to break it down into phases to prioritize and look at the things that we gotta do first. And with that would be like the water valves and stuff that's leaking, get those taken care of before we do any type of prep work and get a price for that. And then break down each phase of the project for cost. And they've reached out to us too, if we know any contractors or vendors that have the capacity to do this, you know, the more people we can get bid on it, the better potential prices we can get, and breaking it down into smaller phases will help with that, hopefully.
Did Meco have any explanation as to how come their estimates were so far off?
Well, the best piece of information that we got from them is that they basically took a spreadsheet of comparative pricing before and drafted estimates based off of that.
And that was from what year?
And it's a national database that they use, so here's one thing I found out with engineering firms, that especially when they give you cost estimates, might as well times it by 3. I back in Hannibal, that was the way it was up then too, so
It's a guesstimate.
yeah. So
Not pleasant.
I mean, we do have quite a bit of, we have a lot of options with it though, because I feel comfortable enough that if we can get them to blast it and paint it, we could do little things amongst ourselves internally, but when it comes to like in air handlers and things like that, we can get people that are more local for that. They're having an issue finding people that are close that won't have to travel, we want to pay hotels, things like that, and that's where the prices is coming into account for. That's why it's so high. And that's why they reached out to us and asked us if we know anybody that's local that can do it, so we can save a lot of money. Somebody closer to us.
Problem's finding somebody.
You know, that's the issue we're having.
Okay. Try to get work done on your house.
So THM, so we cleaned our primary, secondary basins in the water plant. And Robert ran some tests internally. We did things like that. We flushed our hydrants. We did have very good results. Our THM results were 52.3 and 45.1. And that's the lowest. If anybody wants to see the history of our THMs, there's a website that DNR has. It's called Water Watch. You just go to Pike County and then go to our water system, and it'll give you all of the past results. I didn't click back into a lot of years, but just in the past 2 years, those are the lowest numbers that we've had. So what we did was huge. 2 results, 2 tests before that. Remind you, we test every 3 months. It's a quarterly test. 2 quarters ago, those numbers were 175.
Oh my.
So we're down to 52.3 and 45.1. So that was huge for us. We may still be, and just to give everybody a warning, we still may be not in compliance yet, because when the way that number is determined is an average for all 4 quarters. And I think that the average was 105 and it has to be 80. So we expect that the next time we test, that'll throw us back down and we'll be right where we need to be, and then we'll stay there.
Hopefully DNR will see that as a trend and not want to issue fines.
So that the good thing about DNR is every time we have an issue like this, this is not an issue, but because we're still not in compliance with our average, we'll still have to send a notification out to the public. We'll still have to give everybody a warning, or the information and stuff like that. But every time they do something like that, they send us a guideline of recommendations to try, and we have been checking every one of those every time that they send us those. We were working on those, and they're seeing our numbers. They're not any concern because our numbers are dropped. And the other thing is that people have to realize too, 52.3 and 45.1, our water quality right now is right where it needs to be. Our average from 3 quarters ago is when people should have been concerned. So I don't want anybody to freak out and think that we're bad now. It's just an average number. 3 quarters or 2 quarters ago is when was our issue then.
When's the next test?
So we just did it in March, so April, May, June 30th. I think we take it the week before the end of that. And then it's roughly, I'll tell you this, they say anywhere from 0 to 30 days. This time it came in last week when Robert called me. What's today, the 14th? So it was 10 days, 11 days. The time before that was right almost a month before we got our results. We waited for a while.
Is there? Yeah, who sends out the messages to the community? Is DNR the one that does that?
They give us, so I guess it depends on what messages you're referring to. Like THMs, they give us that warning, and that's exactly what we have to send out. We can't alter that. We can't change anything.
Can we put a letter with it?
We
We're
could.
not altering the letter, but we're adding to it with saying that we're really pleased with the fact that our current rock progress has improved so much,
Yeah.
That's something to that effect.
We probably could do something on
Would
it.
that be a good idea, Tim?
Yeah, so part of this is whenever we first got the initial letter from DNR, the city enterprise had to establish a corrective action plan. And we detailed everything that needed to be done. As far as changing the entry points of the permanganate, is that how you pronounce it?
That's correct.
We was dumping it into the plant at a single point that would only have, 15 minutes of exposure time. So our guys changed it to the inlet. They inject it there, and then it gets so many minutes before it gets to the water plant itself, and then they inject another half dose. So it's a half dose each one. So it elongates the amount of time that permanganate is exposed to the water. Also, the guys are cleaning those holding basins, on a semi-annual basis, and they're flushing the hydrants. We went as a city, up till, a year and a half, 2 years ago, we've gone 3 years without flushing the hydrant once. And water being stagnant in the tanks or anything else without turnover causes THMs.
I'm just thinking if it's gonna go out to the community, that we need to say something like, we're working on it and we're showing improvement.
Yeah, and I'm not
So that
opposed to it.
people see that, because otherwise they get the idea that nothing's happening and we're getting these warning letters and they're so dire.
Well, the only thing is that, I'm not opposed to it, we just gotta be careful how you word things, because sometimes a letter that's from DNR. DNR will straight tell you that they are sending a letter to scare citizens.
Right.
And then we would be over
And they're
here
very good
trying
at
to, yeah, they are very good. And you know, there's no issue, and then they become an issue, and then they get confused, well, is there an issue or is there no issue, like, you know, it's.
So
So you just gotta make sure we just word everything correctly.
kind of with the 20-year plan, right? We're generating, it's in this budget right now, $260,000 capital improvement to adding mixers to our holding tanks at Star Hill and East Street. To keep the water from being stagnant, it will continually move. Because that's what creates THMs as well. And that was part of our plan, corrective action plan with DNR to put those in there. It's just very expensive to do. So that's in this year's budget, to get that done as well.
Well, I think too, given the fact that we just raised our rates. You know, a letter, you know, that matches up and does everything, so can't do anything but help us in terms of building goodwill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, letters go a long ways. I mean, notification of letters do it, you know, we had there was a lady, matter of fact, I think it was in a work study, a couple of work studies ago, there was a lady in here, we changed her meter and she wasn't very happy, the water bill was high, and things like that, and one of the things that she said that she wished we had done was put some kind of notification. So, I don't wanna get too far ahead on this list, but one of the things we did is our 480 water meters came in. So we have been putting door tags on everybody, every time we change the meter, there's a door tag going on, letting the customer know that's what we've done. And we haven't had any, there have been no issues with that. And it seems like everybody, matter of fact, the guy came down and he said, hey, I got this, when are they changing the meter? And I said, it's already done, they didn't even know. So I'm all for putting notifications and things out there, I just wanna make sure we just word things correctly, that
Yeah.
we're not like falsely telling them there's no issues, because there have been issues, everybody knows it, I mean, DNR wouldn't tell us there's an issue and there's not.
No, I'm not suggesting that you do.
Yeah, no, I
I just think, you know, communication is important. And especially since like I said, since we just raised our water rates. You know, that might be a good way to build some goodwill for the city. It's, if we do it correctly, it's a win-win situation.
And we are improving.
So one other thing too, because you see a lot of misinformation that gets put out.
Right.
Like the meters, you know, there's people that talk about, well, they changed my meter, but now this period of time is the new meter's catch-up period. Well, there's no catch-up. We're not catching up to nothing. The new meters are accurate. So what happened is your dying meter was slow and wasn't reading correctly, and your bills were lower than probably what it should be. And when we put a new meter in, it's not for catch-up, it's just now reading accurately. So instead of, you know, reading only 0.75, you know, per gallon, it's reading gallon for gallon now, roughly. Yeah, I know it's all cubic feet.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Didn't-
No. So, the last thing on the water treatment plant, the intake house, we're still planning to paint the bottom half of that, to get that taken care of. The guys have, well, as we get through, you'll understand why it hasn't been done quite yet. The wastewater plant, so some of this stuff we've already went over, I just want to touch bases, I'll work through it again. So we gathered the 4 estimates for the concrete repair on the walkways at the wastewater plant. They were scheduled for April 10th and 11th. They have rescheduled it for June 4th and the 5th. They came here, they didn't bring enough hose. The guy that did the bid on it, for them to come do it, didn't tell them there was no access point into there, so they didn't bring enough hose. And they decided that they wanted to wait till the ground was still, was a little bit harder. And I'm sure when they came then, we'd had a lot of rain, so it was pretty soft at that point.
Cause they're lifting the
Yes,
concrete.
and they want, because they're gonna lift all that up. We're still planning to drain the basins of the wastewater plant, just after spring, kind of about the same time, probably about the same time when the foundation repair gets done too. The Trojan UV system, we reached out to them after the council meeting. They've been contacted, they've ordered everything, they're 3 to 4 weeks out on the ordered items. And then once those come in, then they will schedule to come down here and get all of that system upgraded, the first phase of that. Oh, this is a good one. So the auger system that we had rebuilt at the wastewater plant, it did malfunction again. We pulled the gearbox, we pulled the motor off of it. We sent it back to Huber. It was gonna be under a warranty claim. They reached back out to me via email, and they're saying that unfortunately, it's not under warranty because it was overloaded. So I sent back some very descriptive emails because I don't understand how a closed unit would be overloaded. It's designed to do that. It can't overload itself. That's what it's doing. And even if it was overloaded, why didn't it shear the safety, shear the pin on this for safety on it instead of stripping out all of the gears is what it did on it. So I reached back and when he told me it was overloaded, I said, well, that's ironic to say it's overloaded because who's to say that when you guys rebuilt it, you didn't leave pieces of metal in there from before, or you didn't put the proper lubrication, things like that. He quickly responded back with, I'm gonna reach out to my manager and we're gonna see the best course of action to help you guys. So basically, I think they just made the accusation that it was overloaded. And
it could be weakened steel too.
Exactly, or it could be, they could have put cheaper gears in it or two, and it wasn't its spec for what that was designed to do.
Right.
There's a series of things, and I put all of that in a detailed list, and he was quick to say they're gonna look into it and see what they can do. So, and as of right now, I responded back to that email today, and I have not gotten a reply back to that just yet. So I'll give them a day or two, and then we'll start calling them again. I will say that I want to give the council a heads up. This Huber technology company that we've been dealing with is the worst company we've ever dealt with. They are very hard to get on the phone. I can make 15 phone calls a day and never get them on the phone. Emails, it might be 10 days before they answer an email. And I will say this, if they don't make this right, we need to probably go ahead and plan on to go a different route with this and get completely away from this company. So I have everything in email record, and I mean, I would be more than happy to share every email that
You might want to ask them what the capacity for the bearings and the gears and everything else that they put in. You want the specs.
Well, I'll tell you guys this, they sent us a bill once for $8,300. And I said, we're not paying this because the guy that came here was here for an hour, he left, he told him he did all this work, he never did any work. So they said, okay, we understand. $8,300, it was 83 or 86, so I've got them downstairs. They said, we won't charge you for this. Turn around, they sent us a bill for $10,100 and said this was for coming down and doing this repair on this auger, putting the gearbox, the motor and everything on there, assembling and all this stuff. I said, well, why is it $10,000? We go to a council with a bid of $40,000 and this is way over and you're already shooting it over. And so he said, well, there was overtime in it from a layover. I said, we're not paying overtime for a layover. We have no control. You have no control. We're not paying for that. And that was about a month and a half ago. And they have yet to follow up with any information as to where that $10,100 bill came from. So we have yet to pay that. So this is I'm telling you this because I don't want anybody to act surprised if we don't get this resolved and we have to go a different route. It's very disappointing.
I'd say.
It's terrible.
Have we paid them anything on this?
We have, I think we paid them about $33,000. That was for the completion of it, and that only lasted about 2.5 months.
Is this the one we rebuilt here a few months ago?
That is correct, yes.
That we looking to shell out all that money, get this thing rebuilt, and cheaper to rebuild it. I understand.
Well, we rebuilt the gear motor. We used our existing motor. We replaced the auger shaft and the whole assembly all the way up. And so that's when he continues to say it's overloaded. Well, it's brand new. And your certified tech put that in. He was here when that was installed.
I mean, this just sounds like something when you take a car to the car dealer and you get in these arguments over where it's covered by a
Yeah, I'll
warranty.
tell you this much. This is
crazy.
worse, this is worse than the car dealer because at
Oh,
least you're
yeah.
face to face with the car dealer, this is coming out of North Carolina. And now they have our gearbox and our motor there. So,
Oh, they got it?
yes, we had to ship it back so they could evaluate it for warranty repair.
I'm wondering rather than have Clinton, develop ulcers over this.
I can tell you're pretty.
It's awful.
Is this something that we need to turn over to Mary and basically, go small claims? Well, and sue them. Basically, they were supposed to provide a system. They did not provide the system. We need to go for small claims, get our $33,000 back and just start over with somebody else because it's obvious these guys are never gonna come through.
That might be the best bet.
Hey, I was kind of thinking that myself.
I mean, I've got $18,000, almost $19,000 worth of bills that they basically, well, 10,100 of it, they have not answered me on an 83 or 8,600. That they just threw away. That's like, well, we're not billing you for that.
Yeah, it just sounds like
So-
this is a gift that keeps on giving. I mean,
Yeah. This does not sound like a reputable company to me.
It's been a mess.
So they're the original for the plant. Really, once we get to that point to where we don't see any conclusion to it, then we'll turn it over to Mary. I mean, we're not, I don't know, I'll leave it up to Clinton if he feels that we're at a point of,
How long has that motor been there?
Well, the plant was built in 2001.
No, the one you sent back.
I'd have to look to give you exact dates,
last
but
month.
it was, yeah, I would say 3 weeks ago.
But you basically gotta give them like, what, 90 days,
Yeah.
something.
They sent me some pictures of what they've taken apart. But I don't agree with it being our issue. Like, I don't agree with it. It's not a warranty that you're guys' fault. Overload of a system that we have no way to overload. It's not like if we threw a 2x4 in it, I could understand, but it would shear the pin. Like, it wouldn't just tear all your gears out of it. And it never
Well,
sheared.
it's designed to do that, so it doesn't tear the gears.
So it doesn't overload.
Yes, and it never did that. It was still, a matter of fact, when we noticed it, motor was running, it was spinning, nothing through the gearbox, it just annihilated it, it was awful.
so the best bet is probably follow up this week. Get them to conclude what they're gonna do to make this right. And if they don't give us any type of conclusion by the end of this week, then we'll have Mary send them a demand letter.
Yeah, because it sounds to me like we're at that point.
Yep.
And make sure you print out and or save every
Oh,
email.
I have everything.
I'm sure you probably already have.
I've done everything through email because, I was warned about their, communication skills before I started dealing with them, so everything's through email.
Biggest thing, they haven't told us no yet. Once they tell us no, then you'll have. They were trying to get us to bite off on it. Bite off on it. Okay.
So I'm gonna go down to distribution, so lead service inventory, I'm sure everybody has seen Schulte in town, they've got a big minivan and a pickup truck. They've been hitting it hard, they're running with it, they have been going door to door in the middle of doing their, their scheduled, checks. And when they're not doing that, then they're going door to door, and they have really been,
they've been crackerjacked. They had to come. In my house, the shop down, it's not like in the photo where you scrape it, it's right up against the pipe. You can't scrape. That guy came in there, he was totally gracious, looked at everything, we're copper. Looked at everything, was totally gracious, professional, was in and out in 2 minutes. They did a great job.
yeah, they seem to have been doing a really good job. I know that the letter that they mailed out had that QR code on it. And it's a pretty simple thing if you wanted to do it yourself. It's really simple to do it yourself.
Yeah, I just couldn't do mine because it was weird looking. It wasn't a
Yeah.
normal kind of shut off down.
Yeah.
He was excellent.
We have several hydrants to replace, we have done a couple of them, but they're still scheduled to do more. The meter replacements, they have came in, the guys have been working on those. And they have been leaving notices on the property owners or residents' doors as they change them.
Glenn, I got a question for you. I was out walking during my campaign and over there by Mary's, and I can't remember the name of the other street. I saw a hydrant where the cover was off and there was a wrench on top of it.
That's on Boyd.
Oh, boy, is
Yes.
that where that was?
I am fully aware that we had a jetter fall over there, and that's
Okay.
where they filled up the back truck.
Okay, I was just curious about that.
It was right in front of the White House there.
Yeah. The wrench was stuck in the top. Okay.
Murray Street ground storage tank, all the prep work's completed, we just have to wash it and then it'll be ready to paint. And then the last thing I've got, for distribution is the contractors on the west end of town. They have to widen their ditch out, significantly to put retaining walls with a footer. And when they do that, all of our sewer is going to, we're gonna lose our sewer there, basically. It's clay tile as of right now, and we have just decided it's 140 foot. Once they are ready at that point, which I think that they are wanting to start on that Wednesday, we're going to just go ahead and replace that 140 foot section of sewer there. It'll be under that brand new sidewalk over that creek, and so there's no reason for us just to not do it. We might as well do it now and not have to get back into it. So that's all I have.
Do you wanna give a high eagle view over the budget? This basically, or I can get it if you want.
If you start, I can chime in.
Okay. So council, you got a draft budget for insurance. So you will see, there's been some changes, there's some inaccuracies in 2024 from our water office. Issues that we had with personnel. Well, I haven't even quoted anything.
Oh, okay.
I'm still just kind of giving an overview.
I'm sorry.
So when you go back and you look at 2024 compared to previous years, or even what the year we're currently in, you'll scratch your head and wonder why is that different? And that'll be something that you bring up to the treasurer and to Clinton when we get to talking about it. But anyway, looking at it overall, approximately, you're looking at if you go back to the summary sheet, that's really going to give you the nuts and bolts of everything in one. What you're looking at as far as if you look at 24-25 mid-year budget, we're at $3,665,000. Well, this year we're for income, we're looking at $3,587,000 for income. And then if you look at the expenses, comparing the two, we're right on track. The big difference is because we reimburse the city from ARPA funds through projects that we've already done. So we can get those ARPA funds spent before the deadline, and we is able to do that and get an authorization to do the buyback. Because we did like the East Street water tank and some of the other projects we did out of capital improvements. So we was able to reimburse those into that. But if you look at just a high overview, $260,000 for the mixers up at E Street. Some other high overviews is
You have 443,000 to Schulte's.
to Sharpie,
Service inventory.
and which we got a grant for $400-something thousand for that as well. And what else? What are some high ticket things that we're looking at doing with that? The meter, the master meter. What's that for the water treatment plant? $20-something thousand.
Yes, and we have several check valves. So one of the things that we're dealing with MECO on the basement is some of the water leaks. we have a couple of check valve, and if I remember right, there was another valve. It sprays water out, needs to be rebuilt or replaced, so that's in here also. There was also some testing equipment for the water plant.
Meters.
Yes, and then water meters, which was another 87,500. So that'll be for the upcoming year too, because we have 1,500 customers. We just bought 485. About 4 or 5 years ago, we replaced the first book, which was the north side of 54 Frankfurt Road, all of those. We did those about 4 years ago. So if we do one more large purchase, should get us right.
Question I have, it seems like we're not, we're rebuilding a lot of stuff. Do we have a cushion built into the budget that when in doubt, buy new as opposed to, it would seem like it would fit into the 20-year plan and slide into a more reasonable preventive maintenance type situation. If everything else being equal, we could replace stuff with new stuff as opposed to rebuilding. I'm just thinking about this thing we were just talking about and everything else, it just.
Well, like most things, you can only rebuild it so much before you have to replace it. So, I mean, we have our capital improvement, which.
And we haven't rebuilt a lot of things. I mean, if a pump's able to
It
be
just seems
rebuilt-
like we have to me anyway.
Yeah, it's I don't think it's really happened. This Huber system, everything was brand new on
Yeah.
it. So it's not like we.
Except-
Again, I'm not an
Yeah.
engineer, so I don't know.
Say, wasn't it the only thing we rebuilt was the motors?
Was the gearbox.
Everything else was
Yeah.
new.
The motor. We didn't get a new motor, but there was no issues with.
But there was like a $40,000 difference.
Now, we did rebuild the scraper at the water treatment plant a couple years ago, a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
We did do that.
which saved us like $250,000.
Yeah,
Robert and the other guys, they drained that and rebuilt that.
but it just seemed to me when in doubt, pay me now, it's kind of a pay me now or pay me later thing.
Hey, the other issue that we have with this is that a lot of the things that we can rebuild to replace them might be quadruple what it would be to rebuild it.
Yeah,
And we do have, our capital improvement, but you don't want to drain it on replacing something like, if we can rebuild it, then. And do a 20-year replacement plan like we've done, then that would kind of set us up.
yeah. And I wasn't being critical, I was just trying to understand the thinking.
Well, the other thing is too, that if you do buy new, you may have to reboot the whole system.
Right.
So in other words, it might be a $50,000 fix, but it's gonna cost us $100,000 to fix everything else.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I'm not an engineer, so I don't
Yeah.
understand how all that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes sense.
To integrate it, it costs more. But, so the big thing with this, everybody is, take time, if you got questions about it, take notes. Get hold of Clinton if you set up some time with him or me, I don't care. Anything that will answer your questions. So we can just make our meetings a little bit efficient. We don't mind going over the questions and sharing the concerns and issues that we have. Because I guarantee you, our staff is well prepared with this enterprise budget to answer any questions about this. So I feel pretty confident that if you look at the end of this budget, what's our surplus on this? It's a surplus, it's a balanced budget. It's, it's $29. It's a balanced budget, and that's still putting money back into our capital improvement stuff, so that's.
And that's doing a lot of.
And that's without-
Infrastructure upgrades.
And that's without taking any loans out for anything.
That mixer alone will solve our THM issue immediately. And that's what DNR recommends that we do, but coming up with $260,000 to do that.
Easy for them to say.
Exactly.
Is that number correct for 25, 26 column or the meter replacement?
What page are you?
So did I say large
Technically,
projects?
yes.
So the issue with that is we need to probably remove the meter replacement off because large projects for distribution would be $443,000 for lead service inventory. $87,500 for meter replacement and $260,000 for Murray Street or Star Hill mixers.
Okay, that
What
makes
page
more
you looking at?
sense.
That would be the distribution, it'd be 55.
55?
If you look at the top, it say district, yeah, I go by the codes, at the end of them, all have 55, 45, 098, 55.
Third page, okay.
Yeah, exactly. When you get from me, it's-
We're good. And it's 65.750.
Yeah,
So
It'll say large projects.
So that's the 260,000 for the mixers, the meters and the large valve, all the projects, all our capital improvements that we're making.
okay, thank you.
So that's 40,000 just for this coming year.
What we've spent. What
No,
are you talking
what
about?
we're talking about for 25, 26 per project.
It should be,
What page are you on?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on page 4. I'm looking at large project 65.750 to 57.
Yeah, so that's for the water treatment plant.
that'll be for a check valves and meter replacement that we've got, that is causing leaking issues in the basement.
Okay.
If you go back one page, that's where it'll say large projects, meter replacement. And we typically, that was always the only large project that distribution would have.
That's like 791,000.
Yes, and 87,500 of that is for meters themselves. And 260,000 of that is for the mixer on Star Hill. To offset and relieve.
How much for the mixer?
260,000. And then the 443,000, if you go on the budget, go to the very back. Second to the last page, on the very back. Yes, if you go down to 45,206-61 grant income, that's the $443,734. That's where we show the income for enterprise, the expenditure on distribution, because it falls under distribution.
All for that lead service project.
Okay. Great,
I've only looked at this for
you have it memorized. I'm impressed.
That's what we want.
Thank you, sir.
anybody else have anything?
All right, thank you.
Was there already one call? Why is that going up from 475 to 1,000? Have they changed the price to us?
$1,000 is what we always budget. If we have like an emergency locate that comes in and the guys are, and this is, it has happened, it's very seldom, but you just never know what kind of situation they might get in. If the guys are on another water leak or pushing snow and they don't get right to that to locate for hammer or something, we can get penalized for that. And we've just kind of always maintained it right at 1,000, just always make sure we don't go over what we budget for that.
More safety.
Yeah, and we pay, I think we pay like $30 or $40 a month. We pay based off the amount of locates we get in. That's how that company runs.
So one other thing with the budget, just so you know, with salaries across the board citywide, on average, and I'll use keyword average, cost of living for salaries is 2.5%. However, on the enterprise side, we have I shouldn't say several, 4 employees that are making $15.89. And, you know, it was last year or so, we said, well, starting salary is gonna be 15. Well, this year we bumped for the enterprise side, starting salary is gonna be $16. So those 4 employees got a little bit more than 2.5 to get them that extra 11 cents to get them up to $16. So that's a big plus on the enterprise side. So want to show that as well. All right, streets. One thing on the street side, and Nick, it wasn't part of your update. We do have a quote in a bid for doing Haley's. Still looking to get another one. And then to formalize that, there's only, right now, historically, we've reached out for multiple quotes and bids, and we can advertise in the paper for Haley Street, but right now, looking at $60,000 to do Haley Street. And for an additional 3,000, they will go and asphalt the basketball court at Veterans Park down there by the nursing home. Once
What was that number again?
60,000.
60,000,
Plus 3.
then plus the 3,000 for
To the core, okay.
So it's concrete, so there's some milling that would have to go do to level off the stuff, and then there's some storm drains and manholes that would have to be lifted and so forth, but that would make that street from Georgia Street all the way up to the entrance to the elementary school, all asphalt. That as of
Can we remove that stop sign in the middle?
that's up to our police chief and this council.
Yeah, it does absolutely nothing, stop for nothing. Wow.
A lot of people don't stop doing it.
Motion for that or?
No, I mean, at our next meeting, we'd have to, we're not this is just a work study. Also, the county is working on widening West 252. And there's a question they're asking about, they got roughly 500 loads of dirt, mixed dirt, they're digging out the ditches, widening the gravel roads. So there's dirt and there's some gravel, but it's fill, right? And they're asking the city if we want any of that. Right, if we want that. And I proposed, and they'll see this meeting too, if they're looking, but I propose maybe making an offer saying, we'll take that. But give us $5 a load, and we'll take it.
We have a
And
place to store it all?
yeah, so out there at the West Industrial Park.
Yeah.
And line it up on the side, there's two things, we can utilize it if we need to fill it, or we can spread it across the field. The biggest thing is that we have to make sure is that none of the dirt is contaminated. So,
I will tell you, on that dirt that we're talking about, that's the exact dirt that they're bringing in and backfilling that storm drain on Georgia Street with. And it looks really good.
so, because otherwise they're gonna have to drive several miles to do it, and if they claim they may have 500 truckloads, well, it'll be $2,500 roughly. And we get it for taking it, and it will just be out there until we do something with it or spread it out.
This concrete. It's between, I don't know what road street it is. And the railroad tracks, there's all that. Do we own that? Who owns
Is
that?
it coming right down here?
Yeah,
No, we don't. That's I forget the name, but no.
just curious.
Yeah.
I would think that,
The big thing about any of this area, if we haul anything in, it's all considered floodplain. So if you do any type of rise of any of the ground, you'd have to get permits and get DNR to approve and all.
FEMA
that.
has to come in and look at it too.
And so even where we take it out there in Western Industrial Park, we have to put it in a place that's not gonna be that will impact the floodplain of the creek there. We can't take it to the creek. We have to take it and keep it out of the floodplain and make sure that we follow the guidelines there.
So is that voted on next meeting?
What's that?
The dirt. We gotta vote on that for the next meeting or
Well, it's
then we just do it tomorrow?
well, we can't take any votes tonight, but and it's not, we're talking about $2,500, so it's, the biggest thing is for your all's appraisal of it, and if y'all feel like you
I
want to
think
take
we should
it,
take it, yeah.
yeah, so if
So
we
we
need,
haven't proposed $5 a load direct to them.
yeah,
We have.
have we spoken to them about that?
I tried going twice today.
They haven't, yeah, So we're still working on it.
I don't, right, as of right now, I don't think they're going all the way from NN to B. I don't think they got all the landowner permissions. Right now, it's from 251 to 252, I believe.
He just reached out and said he'd have they're probably about 500 loads.
It's a lot of freaking dirt.
Yeah. Was it
Well,
valid?
I'm wondering if that dirt, if we ever do the park, if we could use some of that dirt to build. a
No,
park.
oh, yeah, definitely.
And
So,
also, if we're talking about it, we're talking about in that area below,
the Veterans Park there.
yeah, the tiny town.
Yes.
I'll come up with it. That dirt might be good to build that
Yeah,
wall.
there. Cause you said there might be some clay in there as well.
It sounds like it'd be something that we could really use.
Right.
I don't think you'd ever have too much dirt.
They don't make it anymore.
I knew that was coming.
But no, that's definitely, I want to bring it up to the council.
Are we selling ourselves short at $5?
Well,
It's better than buying it for.
No, I'm saying that, but I don't know, what, if they have to travel with it very far.
All
they're
they-
gonna spend
all
a
they
lot
have-
more in gas.
all they have to do is find someone to take it.
Yeah,
There's farmers around here that'll take it. Yeah.
okay. So never mind, I didn't say that.
Yeah, all they have to do, and more power to them, being we, whether we charge them or not charge them, it's kind of a trade-off, but we thought it'd be an easy thing for them, for us to accept it, because we're right there.
Yeah. And I think we could probably use it in a lot of different places.
Yeah. Cause it's a lot cleaner than some of the dirt that we saved. And when we save the dirt, when we clean out stuff, we have to keep it because,
Good quality from what you can tell.
From what I can see, just kind of passing by. I was expecting bigger rocks, but it didn't look bad at all.
Okay, good.
Let's see what they say.
No car size chunks.
so, speaking about Veterans Park, so, I don't have a map, but we'll have a map for you. We've had someone shoot grade out there, determine where the water line is gonna be potentially. And so at our next meeting, we'll bring it to the council so they can see where the water line's gonna be. And what it's gonna look like, but one of the things that we gotta do, we're gonna go out there and dig a few spot holes down 8 feet just to get samples to see.
What the
if we-
permeability is.
Yeah, and see if what all it's gonna take, to do that.
The pond, right?
Yeah. Also, Veterans Park, we've already mentioned, not Veterans Park, Lincoln Park, we already mentioned, we're gonna start the cleanup there. And the next phase would be to go ahead and start leveling the lot. Getting that down. So all that information will come to the council as far as going out for prices and bids and comparisons for that. Bring the council up to date, and I will ask the council's approval to go ahead and spend another $10,000 and go out for prices and comparison to continue knocking down the ice house. Go through that stage. We do have an issue with the owner out there at the bought the old hospital. He's cleaning out the old maintenance building, and he started dumping highway paint into the creek there. It's latex, but it's still bad. So DNR was contacted. Our
What creek?
right behind, right between the hospital and the,
Oh, the old hot, okay, I know where you're talking.
yeah, that little drainage ditch.
What the hell's he get off doing that?
It's latex. It mixes with water.
Doesn't matter.
It's chemicals.
Yeah. So a cease and desist and a citation, the citation was created, chief,
Charges are being filed with the prosecutor.
charges.
I
are being
can't
filed.
prosecute.
So- So this is an individual that has.
Because they had pumping them in it, pumping stuff out of it too.
Right. So, yeah, it's, like I said, we had DNR come in and our code enforcement took pictures and everything, and notice is being given. If you've driven by there, it's a mess. Like,
It is a
the neighbors that live on the backside of it, So we've asked the code enforcement officer to give notice, 30 days, follow our process and,
What's the deal with the panda and the?
yeah.
I wondered that too.
And in 30 days, if he doesn't have it cleaned up, we'll go out there and clean it up. And charge it, put a lien on him, so. Yeah, it looks like it's a mess out there.
Let's back up to Lincoln Park real quick.
Yes,
So you said there's mattresses and stuff up there,
yeah,
so it's
well,
for people dumping trash.
yeah,
So once we get it cleaned up, are we gonna try to enforce no more dumping that stuff up there? Because it's still gonna happen.
so one of the things that, one of the plans is to go ahead and put some sort of a permanent surveillance camera up there. Something that can't be stolen or taken.
I mean, we've done this before, probably not to this magnitude, but, and they just tear about that.
Oh, yeah.
The kids will tear up places.
So one of the things that we want to do is, make it as sturdy as we can. I mean, I don't know how much the stainless steel appliances cost for the whole, but, I think the whole part of doing this project is not just for the ward, but it's also to eventually develop the rest of Star Hill that way. There used to be homes back up in there, way back in the day. And everything's overgrown, everything's kind of stuff. So I think the long range goal, and one of the reasons why putting the water line up there in the hydrant is to ensure development, future development up there. Whether it's low income housing or whether it's nice housing or whatever the cost. Can't do anything the way it is now. And
I wanna add something to the water line issue too. There's when you go across that creek, the guy that lives in the property right there on the right-hand side. Several times over the last several years, we've had to call Kurt Love to come in and fall that water line out because that guy loses water all around. That water line runs in a 2-inch right across the side of the creek. It's exposed to the elements all year long, and we physically have to remind him every year to leave your faucet run, because if not, that main freezes up. So that's kind of to help resolve the issue with him too. He pays water and capital improvement just like everybody else, and he shouldn't have to do that.
No, you should.
And he's been excellent with it the whole time, but I just wanna, that's that helped that issue too.
So what do we do? We build
We're gonna bore.
concrete wall and then build with dirt so that over that line so that. it doesn't-
no.
or-
We'll just bore underneath the creek, just bore. Also, if you're familiar with the area, you go across the bridge. And it looks like a private driveway that goes up to the left of the house, but that's not private, that's city right away, that's city street that used to go up to Star Hill as well. And if you notice, there's like 3 or 4 boats that are junked parked there in the city right away and stuff, so. Not that we're gonna clean that up this weekend, but that might be something that we get our code enforcement involved in and try to get that stuff cleared out of there if we can. Just do whatever we can do to make the park nicer and cleaned up.
That guy that's helping Tram out there, he's actually, have you all seen him out there? He's actually been trying to get into the hospital. What they said, he actually went through the back kitchen door.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, and we got,
It's a mess. I don't know if you've all been called on him or not.
No, but it's in my.
the infrastructure and grounds,
Yeah.
you heard Nick bring it up, about for the grounds department going side by side. If the council is interested in doing that, I know they sell side by sides out here at Farm and Home, the Rangers and whatnot, for $8,000, $9,000. If council wants to entertain that, we can ask Nick to bring it up at our next regular council meeting.
I can see where that would be very handy.
Oh, and if you look at them, they're pulling a trailer with a sprayer with the front mounted mower. One guy's walking behind it while the other guy's driving it, and they drive it from up there down to the riverfront.
Yeah, that's insane.
So it's wear and tear on our mowers.
And the personnel.
Yeah. You know, and just,
wear them up where they were starting the job.
So just do some comparison with a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, I don't know that we need, an $18,000 side by side. I don't know if we don't need to buy something used and something with warranty, but just see what Wiley and what they recommend, but to have something for the council to compare. What's that?
if the city taxes them figure.
Yeah,
So if not, if you can get their, they talking all the time, the promotions on one right now, just to get, to sell them.
and they've been real good with the city and other non-for-profits and stuff, so they may help us out a little bit. And that it shows support locally too, so.
Right, and we certainly want to do that.
Public safety and police hiring. So our cadet is out. So Caitlin started her build training. And at our next regular council meeting, we'll do an official, ceremonial swearing in. And the other two cadets, they started.
They've started, graduation for them will be until July, I believe it's 27. And that'll be full staff of them.
One other thing with grounds, everyone, we did everyone's familiar with the tower lease that we did. Okay, so the other tower belongs to US Cellular. And I've been working with them trying to, see about doing a perpetual lease, because that's one of the things that they talked about a year ago. And I believe I have to double check and verify, but I believe we've been making like $650 a month, for several years now. And the term expires this year. And for the past 6 months, they haven't been returning my calls or anything, emails. They've got a turnover. And I sent a letter to their CEO and said, hey, we want to end this contract. Come get your tower. And I got a call the very next day. The very next day. So anyway, speaking with their real estate group, they threw out an offer for a perpetual lease of $120,000. And I told them, so we just did the property next to it for more. And she reached out to her finance group and stuff. So they had an offer of $140,000. So I do have the paperwork for that. And I can provide that into everyone's email.
Now, by perpetual, that means like really in perpetual.
Yeah.
Basically, they're
perpetual.
buying the land.
Yeah. And that's the most expensive piece of land up there on Star Hill. So yes, and I'll let everyone read the agreement, but there are, if they abandon it, if it goes 2 years of abandonment, we can break the contract. If they're not fulfilling, the requirements. The difference between them and the other tower is, first of all, the other tower we own. And any new tenants that go on that tower, we get 50%. This tower is theirs. They're not putting any other tenants on their tower. So that's kind of the difference here, but I'll forward that to everyone on the.
It does seem like they're offering out of the board, so that location and the tower, and considering the other tower went for, even with the fact that they own that.
I want to make sure in that contract, they can sublease it.
Right.
That's what they'll do.
Yeah, sublease it. The biggest thing is our tower is way nicer than their tower. I mean, if you look at them, there's a stick built. Propped up, ours is a kind of tripod deal. And of course, we had a cost to put that in the first place. But anyway, I'll share that with the council.
It just still seems like that's a little low.
Yeah. So there's, and I don't disagree, and we can play ball with them. Or we tell them to take the tower down. So So either way, I'll forward all that information to you before our next meeting. And we don't have to jump on a decision at our next meeting, but I'll push it out sooner than later.
It would be nicer to get more considering how much we need to be doing with both sewer and streets.
So I would always counter.
So, and we can counter again, but let's be clear, because we've had misinformation out in the public before. Comparing enterprise to city funds. We can't use city funds for enterprise purposes, like sewer and stuff like that.
But we certainly need street work too, so.
Yeah, we do need that, and that would be a big source of getting paving done. Either one of those towers.
Right.
Could be a big resource to get it done. One of the things, just for public opinion and the council's opinion too. We know these funds from the towers, both towers. We know these funds are once in a lifetime deal for us, because we're only going to get it once.
Right.
So thinking along those lines, they should never be rolled into operational revenues. They should be utilized for once in a lifetime improvements for our city. You know, something that's going to be last more than 15 years on asphalt, you know, like a lake, or like improving the riverfront, you know, one of the things that I'm reaching out and asking contractors now to give us bids to, instead of having gravel where the pavilions are at the riverfront, just doing patio blocks, doing the whole thing. I at first thought about concrete, but I thought, well, maybe the patio blocks might be the better way to go and look more historic and look at it. Yeah. Just so we have a price, so we know what it's going to cost us. The ADA pedestrian ramp, so people can get down. Finishing the rest of the lower walkway, because at one time we was talking about putting grass up at one end, but everyone's giving feedback. It'd probably look better just go ahead and finish it with the concrete like we did majority of it. And but you know, there's a lot of things that we can do.
If we're looking at block for that, can we also maybe ask cobblestone or something like that, give them a whole time?
Yeah. We can look at that. I know with the cobblestone, I'm sure they got stuff that looks good. The biggest thing is we don't want to have any hazards, you know. I know Hannibal, their whole riverfront was cobblestones and they took them all out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cobblestone is hell on a car.
Oh, yeah.
Drive on them.
Well, this would be just for pedestrian.
Well, there's names on some of those blocks, right? You can sell them.
Well, we don't want to have liability people tripping over it either, and maintenance issues, but it sure is a cool look if we could.
Yeah.
Well, be thinking along, the reason I'm bringing it up, be thinking along, because I want all these things to be thrown into our budget. And to show it clearly what our plans are. And what the council wants to see done.
And I, as you know, my monthly plug for, Highway 79 entry park.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So, under ordinance, so I mentioned to the council as far as the resolution for the library. I'll have a new resolution ready for council on 28th. Basically, everything's the same, but we're not gonna, we legally just can't predetermine where funds should be deposited. They have control over that. State statute says all funds that the city receives goes into the library fund, which is the general account. And after it goes there, if they wanna put their funds elsewhere, and that's up to them. It's not up to us. But we just can't, it can't be predetermined, because if we automatically take it from the CDs, which we have control of, and put it into their reserves without their signature authorizing it, well, it's just not proper, even with the resolution. So Mary's gonna have a pretty good detail about that resolution and about those things, just trying to iron it out. Economic development,
I don't have anything really, I'm heading out of town for a couple of weeks, but afterwards, I'm gonna try to. I'm in the process of trying to set up a meeting with the Pike County Economic Development Director. I kind of talked about maybe looking at some grants or knocking down some blighted property and those kinds of, see what kind of options we have available. And just trying to start building that relationship to where we can start working together a little bit. Louisiana kind of tends to be the bastard stepchild in a lot of this stuff, and I'd like to see some of that, any money that they're getting or any efforts that they're getting, kind of coming back to us a little bit. But yeah, I specifically want to talk to her about what they can do, and then talk to them specifically about some of this grant stuff, especially with respect to the blighted properties, because I'd like to see people start knocking some of this stuff down and cleaning this place up. So that's basically all I have.
Tourism, housing, health, senior services. So the big thing that the council needs to be probably prepared for at our next meeting is, between the LMC, the LCC, and the tourism board, this year we're looking to push out Legends and Liberty, July 4th and 5th. Legends for our Momo, right? They're looking at having Bill White and other performers come July 4th and 5th, having car show, motorcycle show, having vendors down the riverfront. Something that maybe one of the council members would want to do. There's a Momo calling contest, maybe a stomp off. Have 2-foot paddles, and there might be one of us. Don't look at me, but a lookalike contest with Momo, maybe. So I shaved my beard on purpose. Right? Not that it was any good, but anyway, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of motivation, a lot of sponsors. So the thought process on this is if this can be a reoccurring event and self-sustaining, it'd be a good way to fund our Fourth of July festivities next year. Because fireworks is going to cost $15,000, $16,000 a year,
if not more.
Yeah, and so the big thing is setting this up to make this, an annual event. And really, the group has really worked on some good stuff to promote this. I know they got a lot of stuff headed your way. They're ready, so there's a lot of excitement on it, and more to come on that. Okay. Enterprise, we kind of went over that. Community employee relations. So we had a 9% voter turnout, so there's a lot of excitement with our election process. So.
9.
But that's not just us. Even St. Charles County and 14% voter turnout, which is.
I just wrote a piece on my blog today about that. Actually, it's just pathetic that you can only get less than 20% of the people to show up for an election. And then they complain about everything. It's great.
Animal control.
Not really a report, but I ran across the information today that the Columbia College, Missouri, within the next year or so, wants to open the program back up where they bring the van around and spay and neuter. So start trying to contact them, get information. Talk to some of the people here in town that were involved with it before. Get information. I just happened to go to South Country. I put a little pep in my step for a few minutes and find out about it.
Yeah.
That's really all I got to say about it.
Tree commission, I did have something for the council's consideration. There is a dangerous tree. It's a big sycamore tree up on E Street, is that Hillside or Hillview, isn't it?
I think it's Hillview
Yeah, Hillview. Yeah.
or Highview. It's
Highview. And so looking to get some prices on the way to take for a contractor. There's no way a citizen or a city employee will touch this tree. And try to get some prices on this because it's a dangerous tree, it needs to be brought down, and I'm hoping that it can be done with $3,000. If it's under $3,000, we don't need council approval, we just need comparative pricing, but if it's over $3,000, we'll have to have council approval on
We
that.
have to have a bid.
Yeah, what we have to have, if it's over 3,000, it'll have to be a bid process. But if it's under 3,000, it just have to be comparative price.
Let's have trees in his front yard taken down.
Jaden has,
Reasonable. I thought, on the price of those two.
Yeah.
If we could get that guy.
He cut down 4 trees for me at top 4. And then he went up behind me and did the 3 neighbors in the circle. Then he got in their backyard and did like 5 more trees. And I think I don't know how far along he's gotten on that.
But he was real reasonable on price.
So, yeah, we'll want to go out and get comparative prices and stuff. This tree, I mean, I don't know the capabilities of any of the cutters, but more than likely this tree's gonna have to be climbed and topped out and delayed to get it down. There's power lines, there's a house there, it's not gonna be an easy task, but
Where'd you say it's located?
it's on the, or say if you go on Frankfurt Road, you go north on E Street, like you're heading towards the E Street water tank. It's the last, looks like an alleyway to the right, the blue house. It's only big sycamore that's right there, and there's power lines right underneath. I'm just guessing, I'm gonna guess. They've already topped out what they're gonna top out. And that didn't help matters either, because I think it killed the tree even more. And I'm just be guessing 6 feet, but the tree is, that big around at the base. And it's right next to an embankment, so the root wad is right there next to the open embankment, but anyway, the neighbors are concerned, rightfully so, and it's like whose insurance is gonna pay for it if it does go down,
Is it on city property or? is it-
Well, it's on a right of way, if you consider high view,
I mean, if it's that dangerous, how
We-
fast can we get a move on? Because you don't want to have somebody hurt.
yeah.
We cleaned debris up from the street department does.
And I'm trying to work with the property owner too, because I just don't wanna, I wanna make everyone happy. We're the only group that can probably make this thing,
I think we
make
work
it safe.
quickly and get it done. It's a hazard. We don't want branches falling on people or houses or anything like that.
Considering we're coming into the spring storm season.
Yeah.
With high winds seem to be really prevalent this year.
Yeah.
You don't want to find that it's come down in the middle of somebody's bedroom.
Right, we've had that happen before. Any other miscellaneous information or any questions about anything that we're doing? No one online have any questions? Just miscellaneous business? Just miscellaneous, anything, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Pritchell's having the disadvantage and disability, right? That sit on the sheet.
Right. And just so you know, all that's gonna change probably at our next meeting.
Okay. So if he's ahead of that, how come he's parking on the sidewalk and blocking disabled people from getting their wheelchairs and their scooter chairs by the sidewalk?
So
He said he's been notified,
wait, stop. Where are you talking about?
talking about Mr. Pritchell's vehicles in his house.
At his house.
Yes,
So
he is parked on the sidewalk, blocking it with trailer. He blocked it all day Sunday and night. It's blocked now. Every time he parks with his wheels on the sidewalk. How's disabled people supposed to, it's violating the Disabilities Act. How's disabled people supposed to get on that sidewalk? What if they're trying to go around his vehicle and get hurt? They can sue him and then also sue the city, because the city's been aware of this for months now, and has done nothing about it. Now, you got in court when Mr. Giltner assaulted me.
can we
testify?
Wait,
I'm not asking, I'll let me finish.
no, this is time for us to interchange.
Well,
You
just
know,
let me
what-
finish my sentence before you
No,
interrupt me.
listen, I'm not going to listen to 5 subjects at once. Just let's stick with sidewalks.
This is the subject. I'm getting to it.
What are you
I
talking about?
want to know how, you said on the stand that I didn't go through the proper procedures and all this. What is the proper procedures for Mr. Twitchell to be parking on the sidewalk? He said that Chief Baker gave him permission to park on the sidewalk, and he wasn't doing nothing wrong. He also stated that he owns the property the sidewalk is on. Somebody needs to tell Mr. Twitchell that everybody owns the property that the sidewalks are on.
Well,
So
you're
what
missing the point.
procedure do I have to go through to file a complaint to have Mr. Twitchell to stop parking on the sidewalk when everybody else gets tickets for it?
So, Mr. Henry, if we're talking about the sidewalks and versus everything else, you know, the city does not own a single sidewalk in the city limits unless it's our sidewalk out here in front of our city hall building. They're right of ways, and we do have right of ways access to it, but the property owners own the sidewalks. They are the ones with the liability of those sidewalks. As far as
That's our.
Vote. yeah,
Really.
and you know who's talking, right? So anyway, there's no violation for him to park on it. I mean, if it's more than 24 hours, according to our ordinances, read our ordinances. If you can quote the ordinance and stuff and where he's violating our ordinances, please show it to us. And we'll put it in writing and we'll follow
Why
up.
does the city have an ordinance stating you cannot park on sidewalks or block sidewalk for over a period of time? That's a city ordinance.
Yeah,
I
read
would
that.
like to say he is wrong. My trailer was parked there Friday night and was moved Saturday morning. And that's the only time it's been there in the last probably 3 to 4 weeks. The rest of the time it has been at my building.
He just left that trailer and
Yeah,
parked on there for 2 and 3 days at a time. He did it for 2 weeks one time.
One person at a
That
time.
may be in the past, but you're saying that this past Sunday it was there. It was not there this past Sunday. I took it off and left it at the building Saturday evening around 4 o'clock. So you're wrong on that point.
So, Mr. Henry,
Second point is I have been being very careful how I park there. And I think usually my tires are on the sidewalk by about 6 inches. Which
Still block the
allows anybody
sidewalk.
that needs to try to pass on that sidewalk, the ability to pass. And I think from what Chief Baker told me, is we need to make sure that people can pass on the sidewalk. And I don't think there's any problem with anybody passing on the sidewalk, because the sidewalks are how wide? 4 foot or 3 foot?
it varies. Yeah. it could be
He takes up at
30
least a
feet.
foot, so a person on a scooter only has 2 feet to get by.
Like I said.
How's
my
a
tires
disabled
are
person
about
supposed to
6
get
inches.
by his vehicle? That's
Mr.
all I'm
Henry.
asking.
Mr. Henry.
Oh, and another thing, okay,
No.
let me finish.
So is Mr. Twitchell, is he the only one that has the same issue in the state or in the city? of
Anybody
Louisiana?
making the laws in the city and
Is-
enforcing the laws should have to obey the laws. Also, you have Officer Anderson again. People living in his house.
Are you satisfied with our answers for the?
No, because. it's
So
still
are you
breaking the
gonna keep
law.
on bringing it up at every meeting that you come to? Because I want you to have an answer
Well,
that
it's,
you can end your discussion with it.
so,
Oh, so you asked for procedure, right?
I asked
So
what procedure to follow.
I'm asking you, if you have a specific issue dealing with the sidewalks in Councilman Twitchell, put it in writing, give the ordinance that you're referring to, and we'll bring it to the council and we'll look at it. Because right now, all you are doing is throwing out a hodgepodge. But we know there's ordinances to it and such, and we will, we want to modify it. And if it's applied equally to everyone in the city of Louisiana. So there's your process. So when you come back and you want to talk about the street, add this document where you believe, we already know you believe, but show us where there's a direct conflict with our ordinances and with a council person or any person parking on the street. And we will address that specifically. So that's the process for that. You to come back at our next meeting and just do the same thing you're doing right now is not going to cut. And we want to be able to answer you and talk to you, and I'm really proud of you for coming tonight at a work study session, because this is the proper format to do such, instead of at a regular business council meeting. Even though we want our citizens to express their concerns, this is the most proper way for you to interchange. Yeah. So, and I'm happy to help you on your Facebook views anytime you want. So. You could,
Okay.
that's your next question.
Yes, Officer Anderson has people living in his house, parking in front of the fire hydrant, parking up on the curb. You can't park within 15 feet of a fire hydrant.
Mr. Henry,
Now,
are you an officer of the law? You're a citizen, a concerned citizen, right?
I'm a citizen pointing out people that's
You're
enforcing
not
the
a
laws.
convicted felon or anything of that nature. You're an upstanding guy.
Oh, I'm an ex-felon. Everybody knows I'm an ex-felon.
Okay.
People want to bring it up, let's
Okay.
bring it up.
Oh, that's fine. That's why I'm asking, because you're reporting as if there's some criminal activity or disobedience to the city ordinance. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen. Is it Corey Anderson? Why are you throwing his name out there?
Because it's people living in his house.
Okay, so does
Can an
that,
officer go out to, all right, so if you live in a police officer's house, you can park in front of fire hydrants, you can park up on the curb, you can park on the wrong side of the street.
you know,
People
see,
like, Mr. Giltner said at a meeting, give a big speech about how the officers need to set an example for people coming into town. People coming in Frankfurt Road from Hannibal, that's the first thing they see.
that almost made some sense. Because has Officer Anderson parked in front of the hydrant? Has he parked the wrong way? Has he done something wrong? Because you're referring because people live in his house, evidently you must watch his house quite a bit and know who lives
Oh,
there.
you're
and
going
who don't
for
live there. I'm just asking, you're
Trying to go
saying.
for the stalking thing again. I've done had two of them dismissed. You keep trying that, Tim, it don't
Mr.
work.
Henry, I'm just using your words, you know, your words. And so as far as this issue with people parking in front of hydrants, do you patrol around everywhere else in the city too? You're focused on Mr. Anderson's house. Is there anyone else, any other areas of concern?
There's only people that's on the city that are breaking the law. If you're on the council and you're on the police department and you're breaking the law, you're making the laws and enforcing the laws. You should be able to obey the law.
Breaking the law, okay. So again, the
And
process.
if you have
The
people living in
process.
your house, so if you live in Corey's house, that means you can park in front of the fire hydrant, so it's okay?
The process is, okay, what ordinance is he or anyone violating? What's
Well,
the
any
ordinance?
kid knows you can't park in front of the fire hydrant. You gotta park 15 feet away from the fire
And
hydrant.
where's the fire hydrant located at on the property that you're questioning?
It's in front of Corey's house.
Not on Frankfurt roadside?
It's on his house.
Is it on
He
his
owns up
side?
to the street.
Is it on his side of the street or the other side of the street?
It's on his side. It's right in front of his house. Dad, I just told you 3 times. It's
You
right
don't
in front
need
of
to
his
insult
house.
me, Mr. Henry. I'm being professional as much as I can with you.
Okay.
So you're saying it's directly in front of his house. Is the hydrant, is the curb painted yellow?
Why isn't it painted yellow?
I'm asking, is it painted
No.
yellow? All right, you already know, you passed your driver's test, right? You know what yellow means.
The ordinance states you can't park within 15
Which
feet.
ordinance are you?
Whether, that's
Which-
state ordinance.
States don't have ordinances, they have statutes.
Well, statute.
What does the city?
Well, I will provide that later. What I'm asking you is how come they get away with it?
What, I don't understand getting away with it. What
He's
have
the
you?
chief, I have a chief, don't give him a ticket for parking within 15 feet of his fire hydrant. I don't care what regular citizens do. I just want to know how come the council members and the police just do what they
So-
want.
So you're saying that the chief should be obeying or trying to watch the laws that you are concerned with more than anything else in this city. Whatever Mr. Henry says, we need to do that as our priority.
Which we can't even do if no complaints ever filed by Mr. Henry instead of coming here.
That's what I'm asking
Talk
you.
about.
If I file a complaint, will it be disappear like I filed a complaint on Don Giltner for assaulting me? Nothing ever happened to
Who
that.
did you file a complaint with?
I filed a complaint with Bowling Green and I filed a complaint with you for him being a city councilman assaulting a constituent. I filed a complaint with the city.
You filed a complaint, or did you ask to speak before the council?
I got
What
video,
did,
I got video of me handing you the complaint and telling you what the complaint was for.
I think you're misspeaking that fact. Please provide me a copy of that complaint. Because if you hand me a complaint and that
Oh, you don't have it on record, you done threw it away?
it wasn't a complaint, Mr. Henry.
I
It was-
filed
you
a
asked-
city of Louisiana
you-
complaint form. And I filed one with the police department and I filed one with the city.
You're talking about the one from 2.5 years ago?
No, I'm talking about the one I just filed a few months ago. It's been 6 months getting through.
I have
court
not
now.
seen a complaint. I'll ask the city clerk to provide us
Well,
a
you
copy.
get in there and dig it, because I can dig it out for you. I'll make
So,
copies of
do you
everything.
understand the process for this? Because we don't want to keep on hearing the same thing. We want to get you your answers.
Okay,
We want to answer your questions.
I need to explain something to you. In a city meeting, council meetings, the citizen can get up here and talk about anything they want. If they want to talk about something over and over, they can do it.
Not
It's
at
their
a regular
constitutional
council
right.
meeting.
Yes, they can,
You got 3 minutes.
at the regular council
And
meeting.
you say constitutional rights, freedom of speech. I
So in
understand.
other words, you're sticking with the thing, you choose who speaks and what they speak about, right?
The agenda, to be on the agenda.
What's the procedure? I have to write a letter, give it to the council member or the clerk.
Do
Which
you
one
know
is it?
what an agenda item is, Mr. Henry?
Yes, I do. I'm asking you. a
What
question.
is an agenda item? Because
We're
I
on
wanna-
the agenda.
what is
I-
an agenda item?
All right, let me ask you this. You want
No,
to?
you keep on asking me questions. I want to answer your first one. You want an agenda, I'm gonna let you know, an agenda item is something for the council to take action on. Okay, so that means it's something that has to come to a vote, either yay or nay. It's an agenda item, unless it's for a public cause. And if you provide something that is for a public cause or can have a direct response and answer to from this council, but just to sit here and listen to you flabbergate over stuff that you can't substantiate, and you're not willing to put in black and white and file a complaint, and you quote stuff as knowing that the law, like some shithouse lawyer, we're not gonna listen to that. So this is the perfect opportunity. We can say what we want to right here in this form. And this is where we are at right now, interchanging with you, exchanging with you. So whatever we can do to get you your answers, please help us to help you.
Okay, you said if I didn't have pictures or video, it didn't happen because they said so. I provided pictures.
You said I said. You said I said.
Yeah, I got video. You telling me that?
Okay, what are you referring to?
All right,
don't know
I
what you're
got
talking
pictures
about.
of him parking on the sidewalk. I got pictures of him parking on the wrong side of the road. I got all kinds of pictures. I got pictures of Officer Anderson. After he accused me of harassing him, I got pictures of him pulling up, following me, waiting for me to come out, stopping me from my vehicle. And then, oh, y'all can laugh at me while you want.
No, because here's what we're getting at. Just because you have a picture or something, there's, in our ordinances, it says the vehicle has to be parked there for so long a time to be a violation. Read our ordinances.
I posted the ordinance next to the picture of him parked on the sidewalk.
Well, a still shot is not saying that he's been there for more than 24 hours. Do you have 24 hours of video?
Well, yes, I need to get 24 hours of video. Then you can file a fucking,
Well,
thing.
watch your language a little bit. And I
No,
know
I
we
can say anything, I can say anything I want while I'm up there. That's freedom of
and we
speech.
can stop this discussion right now.
You can't tell me I can't say whatever I want.
And Facebook is not a means of filing a complaint. If you
Oh, we
want
don't
to file a
care what you got
complaint,
to
you
say.
need to do so through the proper channel.
And what? I have filed complaints, filed
No, you
complaints, and they have disappeared.
You haven't filed anything.
I had a man pull up in front of me and threaten to blow my head off. I didn't quit coming to council meetings. Had a man come up and tell me he's gonna beat me to death. I didn't quit coming to council meetings.
Yet no
I
complaint
filed
filed.
17 complaints, they disappeared.
You haven't filed a
City
one.
of Louisiana.
Before Taterhead took over.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
So, Mr. Henry, you know, you have a right to say what you want, and people can be the judge of your composure and how you interact. We want to help you make sense of stuff, because, you know, this is pure entertainment for you, and I understand that. You got to get off some way, and this is evidently the way that you enjoy interchanging with the council. And yes, we are corrupt. So give an example.
Yes, you are.
Give an example, one example of corruption.
Letting him park on the
Oh, that's
sidewalk.
corruption. So the city government is corrupt because he's parks on the wrong side of the
Yes,
street.
you're supposed to
We're
enforce the
corrupt.
laws. You
Dude,
took
that's
an oath to obey all laws, ordinance of the city,
You can't
state.
even prove that he violates it.
And have them file a complaint.
Okay,
I'm just saying, we're trying to help you. You know, you got some issues that you want to get off your chest. Go ahead and get it off. But it's not the same police department, it's not the same city administration that you dealt with in the past.
it's even more corrupt.
Oh, really? They would tolerate you even standing here this long, listening to as much as you're saying, disparaging this council and this
Well,
administration?
this is the first time. How many
This is
times
the
have I
right-
been told? about
This
3
is the
minutes?
right setting, Mr. Henry.
Well,
This
somebody
is the
stick a
work
finger up
setting.
your butt, let your
This-
eyes get all big
this is-
for.
I'm not used to that, a man staring at me that way. So stop staring at me that way. So the thing is, Mr. Henry, this is the proper form. When you go to the regular council meeting, that's not the proper form.
Regular council meetings, you can get up, if you
got 3 minutes.
If you request to speak at the council meeting, you write your letter, you turn it in, you're supposed to get an answer on whether you speak or not, and you're supposed to be told why.
You gotta
can't just
stop being a
refuse to put
shit
people
house
up.
attorney and don't make up your own laws and ordinances and say this is the way it is. Cause I know exactly how an agenda item is done. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's beautiful, ain't it? I wish I had a camera on you, Mr. Henry,
Oh, I got cameras all over.
because all your listeners can listen and see how enjoying you're having this. Because this is the first time you've come to a proper setting.
Okay, well, how come you refuse to let me speak at council meetings?
I've already answered that, Mr. Henry.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
Oh, so you pick and choose who speaks?
No, I've
right?
already answered to you right now.
Well,
I've
I've
already
already
answered it.
again.
Whenever we stop.
You've been
you from
talking so
speaking.
much, I can't remember everything you
I
said.
know, it's confusing, ain't it?
Yeah, a bunch of crap.
That's how you sound.
Oh, I do? Well, I'll run for mayor, then I could get elected.
You should, you should. So thank you for your time. I think we've had
So
no,
basically, I gotta file a complaint to get anything done with the
hey,
city.
you figured it out. That's,
Remember when you first got
you
elected?
figured it out.
You could
figured it
just
out.
get up and speak about what you wanted. You could come to your office anytime. Well, that shit sure changed, didn't it?
Really, you're here,
How come you didn't let Shanita talk to me? She was on, she wrote a letter
right?
to
Council
speak.
motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
All right. All in favor, yes?
All
Have a good day.
Yeah.